I like that definition. Is it too far for you to see it? Some of okay. Yeah, I usually like, 34, 36 points so that you can see. You know what? I always get off the topic. Paul said, focus, focus. I'm just thinking, would it be easier next weekend I move the chairs closer to the front? Because this is almost like very, artificially. It's a nice carpet you could sit on. Right? So, anyway. Okay, I will read that for you. Culture is a human-made environment. Agree? Yes. Culture is a catch-all term referring to a collection of both symbolic, we were talking about that a minute ago, language and religion. Right? That's all part of culture. And material creation, which meals, buildings. Why do we go to a Vietnamese restaurant? Because you have the Vietnamese distinctive dishes that we like, right? Why do people go to a Chinese restaurant? That's culture, isn't it? Yeah. And we got so multicultural, we've forgotten it. Where do we go? Well, Asian legend. Because we like the food. But why do you like the food? Because I like that culture of food. And I like the change of culture food. I want to go to Pickle Barrels because I do want worlds. So I think that's part of culture. We never thought about that. But when you think about it, it is very essential. Because when you talk about the client, they bring lunch in and they have this curry. And you say, I smell that, right? Is that offensive or is that delicious? You see, so there are so many differences when we are reacting to our five senses. So we have to be aware of those things. And also the buildings and, temples and all that. When you go to Southeast Asia, you see all these different structures, and you think it's an art, but that's the way they live. Culture also refers to social norms. We're going to talk a little more about this. And moral values, and, talk about moral values. This is not moral values, but just disciplinary practices. I said to Paul, why do the Chinese always hit the kids in the head? Have you ever seen that? Every time when they don't behave, we go whack on their head. I thought, you think that will hurt them, right? Yeah, I mean, they were not even spanking the bone, but they smacked in the head. I thought, this is horrible. So, practices, that's the way you do it. And the kids will all love it. They think this is love, right? When they love the kid, you go whack on the head. That's all culture. So you have to learn about these little gestures and the nuances. If I were the kindergarten teacher and the kids say, oh, what did that? Oh, my father, whacked me in the head. There's a disclosure of abuse. That's been allowed before, right? For the protective social worker, right? But that was the way I loved my kid. But then I said, what is inside the brain when you knock the brain a little bit? I don't know how healthy that would be. But anyways, and also the way of life and what constitutes a good life. That's a big thing, isn't it? What is a good life? If there is a client who come in and say, you know what, Hannah, I got everything, but I don't think I have a good life.
That means because you have a silent or align with yourself.
She's got a philosophy. But her philosophy may be different from somebody else's philosophy. Right? So we have so much to learn, but we also have so much we need to change. And we need to understand. Now, my way of a good life may not be a good life for somebody else. So I have to understand where this person is going to be living, where this person is going to be, for the rest of these 50 years.
And we have different views of some. There's going to be the materialistic ways of having a good life.
Yes.
For somebody else, it's more into family matter, which they have a good life. They have a good partner, husband, wife, kids. and they fulfill their expectation there. For some other people, it's because they are spiritual and they're having a good life. They grow in their own eyes, and that means for them good life.
Do you have a good life? Think about it.
Perfect life.
That's good. That is good. And culture influences all aspects of our behaviors more than we realize. Perception, cognition, and behavior. You see, sometimes we don't realize it. And then we thought, how often you look at that person and say, isn't she odd? Isn't he funny? Just because their behavior is a little bit different from our expectation of what the normal person should. And here culture is broader than race and ethnicity. Isn't that critical? And we always talk about, in Vancouver, we talk about East Side. We talk about university, Kitsilano. That's where the university, all these people, educated, and the East Side of the people who are homeless. Same city, same race, right? But different culture. Isn't that
Other side of the track.
Other side of the track, exactly. Diversity. What's the difference between multicultural differences and cultural diversity? Is there any difference? Tell me.
Diversity covers kind of like a broader, it's a broader circle in a sense. So it can include, culture, but it includes other.
More than culture.
Yeah.
Diversity is more than culture. It's more inclusive. And just like here, sexual orientation, which is not in the culture because it's cross-cultural, right? So that's why we like to talk about our society is very diverse. And we have to learn how to work among the diverse populations. And there are so many shades of cultural differences through mixed marriages and migrations. That's what I talk about. And just look at the refrigerator of mine. And we said, hey, talk to her husband, Roland, we made it to the refrigerator. So, anybody knows what that is? Anybody heard about that? One can be a banana. Oh, what is a banana? It's an Asian person born in America. And you could create a few more fruits for different cultures. I'd like to hear about them.
It's funny, like you just been in Toronto and, there are persons like myself who are from Jamaica and they've never set foot in Jamaica. Like, they're born here, their culture here, they're Canadian, they're cool. But people see them making assumptions that, you know what it is, you should offer you some. I've never had that. What is that? I can tell you, how come you have that? Well, I don't know, you know what I mean? So, and that happens that certainly happens to me where people assume it because I'm Jamaican and I should, talk like Irish. So they come up to me and like, Irish. What? I don't say that.
Small That was even my clients. That they just, it's funny that as we talk about diversity, because with the mixed group of youth I work with, so the Asian kids come up and they're like, are you native? So I'm like, no. You look native. You are native. Okay.
You say so.
Talk about why you think I'm native, And then their parents would visit and they get to meet the kid social worker, and they are like, "Oh, so you are native?" Wow, it's funny. Other kids have said that. I don't know how I connect, but so I'm native here. And then the Caucasian kids I have, the white kids say, "You're not Jamaican because you're not black." Sorry, I speak English. Oh, you don't Spanish? No, I'm not Spanish. So I'm like, okay, this is where diversity is so much, even within that one scope. But one of the things the stereotypes, I call it,
Yes.
within the scope of my practice here, is that so all the kids, whether irrespective of their original ethnic group, the stereotype is that once you're Jamaican, then you smoke weed or you grow it in your backyard. I'm like, do you think I have flower pots? Popping out from my ears. And they're like, you never smoke weed? Can I be honest with you? No. What? You're not Jamaican. How come you don't smoke weed? Like, it's legal. You guys just walk around with a blunt. Yeah. We don't even use that term in Jamaica. Right? So I'm like, no, no, but I know Jamaicans here who tell us that it's so legal, you all walk around with it. I'm like, those are kids born here. Some of them have never been to Jamaica. So the stereotype of culture and the diversity.
I like that word, stereotyping.
Yeah.
And this is what we do, don't we? Yeah. But that's all right, isn't it?
We're born with a lot.
It is acceptance. When we go to the meaning approach to using self, we will address those questions. That will be great.